whenever I hear that song, I'm like, this is what you could turn this in a composition class and get an A because it has motifs, it has variations on the motifs. He brings in different instruments to present the motif in a fashion that is for them. And what I love about this whole genre of music is, as you listen to that song, you can hear all kinds of little sections you can cut up and drop in as bumpers. So,
right. It almost seemed like it was like one endless, like intro to the Golden Girls type thing. And I know you and I have talked about that, like as far as that genre of music is concerned. Hi, Rose. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And so, but it's got French horns doing French horny things. It's got those trombones. And I love, it's I don't want to say it's rudimentary, but it's expected in its writing. There's a the strings will make a call, and then the trombones respond, and then the strings make another call, and then then you have the flutes and the woodwinds go
I love that arrangement. It's almost like, and I don't know if I heard it here, but it's like that muted trumpet French or muted trumpet on top of flute, like texture. And it's dwee da da dwee, like just whatever that is, that little gimmick for arrangers. It's just fun. And we were talking about how this while we were taking a listen, the way this music makes you feel. Obviously the major key, but just like the upward movement of the melody, da dwee ya dee dee dee, whatever. It makes you want to buy something, whether it be a Whitman sampler in a heart shape, or something just. And then
separate.
No, that's just like I felt like I was walking around the Clinique counter in 1960. Oh, ma'am, would this blush look radiant on you?
See, where in my mind, I'm like, I could just. I'm surprised there's not a YouTube video somewhere of what's his name? He wrote West Side Story.
Leonard Bernstein.
Yeah, Leonard Bernstein sitting with some orchestra in Germany, spending 5 hours on the do because they can't get it just the way he wants it.
Right,
losing his shit because the triangle player is not striking the triangle.
Just replace that, Peter. Just replace it. Yeah, if you want some extra fun,
musicians be an extra.
Well, I'm about to say, if your anxiety is not high enough, go watch Leonard Bernstein on YouTube rail a bunch of musicians and just make them feel like shit.
What's funny is when the trumpet player is like, "We're not doing that." He's like, because we've all been there with that person, and you're like, he does not know. I mean, I don't want to take Leonard Bernstein down, but he was notorious.
A fellow gay.
Robert Shaw was like this. Stephen Sondheim. There's that famous from Company where he's like, it's boo doopy doop, and she's like, what am I saying? He's like, boo doopy doop, and she's like, okay. Okay. Thanks for the note.
I mean, I can't understand. I don't have the gift of composition. Everything that I write down is super derivative and whatnot. And if I do ever compose something, I can, it's not any good. So I don't understand what it's like to own something like that and have a vision of what it is. Especially like Stephen Sondheim, who has not only a recognizable sound, but a resume to back up maybe that type of interrogation of syllables and notes and whatnot. But just let me play the notes, dude. And look, you probably had this too. Like a couple or maestros who were just like, it's not like this, it's like this. I'm like, that's how I played it, sir. And almost we're gonna get to the point where if this is not how you want it, there might be another person sitting here at the piano because this is how it's coming out.
I was asked once in a church, if I could make that note sound more like a flute, and I was like, so like this? No. Like this? Yes, that's a flute. Okay. I'll do it. That's perfect. And I was like, okay. Whatever. So
You're like a flute.
yes, like a flute here on this stringed instrument.
88 keyed flute.
I almost want to be like, toot, 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 toot.
Is this it right here? Is this am I playing? Toot, toot. Is this how I'm playing it correctly?
So next up, we are moving over to a Sinatra tune, and is this a Nelson Riddle arrangement?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So, just talking about Nelson Riddle and his strings, I wanted there's a lot of classical examples that I wanted to really put in here, but Nelson Riddle gives me a lot of Maurice Ravel vibes as far as orchestrating for strings, in that you have 57 subdivisions in one section. So you have like first violin, second violin, violas, cellos. But within the first violins, I think they're playing instead of one unison part, you have like 6 parts, all layered, and that gives you that texture. And he was also really, really good about internal movement as far as chord changes were concerned. So you'll have like this like octave up here, but then all sorts of business happening in between those two notes that really. He's a genius. So let's listen and then we'll talk about it a little bit.
So this is All the Way by
When-
Frank Sinatra and the Nelson Riddle and his orchestra.
Correct.
And
When somebody loves you.